On my 25th birthday, my family tagged my cousin in the birthday post meant for me. She took my gifts, posed with a cake, and my mom said she was available for photos. So I sent a thank you card with a screenshot of what I was really doing. I was sitting in my car outside a Safeway parking lot in Tacoma, hands still shaking, staring at the birthday post my mom had just put on Facebook. It was supposed to be for me, my 25th birthday, but the tag wasn't my name. It was my cousin Lily's, and the photo wasn't of me blowing out candles or even something old she pulled from a dusty album. No, it was Lily, wearing my favorite denim jacket, holding a pink cake with Happy 25th, piped on top in sloppy icing like it was hers. She was smiling like she'd earned it. At first, I thought maybe Mom mixed up the tag. She's been weird with technology forever. But then I clicked the next photo in the post, and the next, and the next. My gifts, the ones I knew Grandma had ordered for me, the ones I had literally picked out online last month because she asked for links, were stacked in front of Lily like some staged haul. She had already opened them. She was posing with the new headphones I'd been saving to buy myself. She was wearing the emerald ring my aunt promised me after college. There was even a card from my dad in one of the shots, half open, his handwriting clearly visible. My stomach twisted. My throat went tight. All I could think was, what the hell is going on? I called Mom, no answer. I waited 2 minutes and tried again, still nothing, so I texted her. Why is Lily tagged in my birthday post? She responded faster than she'd ever responded to anything in her entire life. Mom, sweetie, calm down, she was available for photos. I read it 3 times. My vision went hot, like I was burning from the inside. Available for photos. Like I was some inconvenience that ruined the aesthetic. Like my actual presence on my own birthday wasn't necessary for the celebration. Like Lily perfect, camera-ready Lily was the better 25-year-old to display. I typed back, "Where are you guys?" No answer. I opened Instagram. There it was, a story from my aunt's account, all of them at my grandma's house. The dining room decorated with gold balloons. Streamers. A banner that said Happy 25 THOLIVIA, pinned above the buffet table. Except Lily was the one posing in front of it. And then the worst part, a video of my mom laughing, handing her another gift bag. It felt like someone slid a blade under my ribs. I hadn't been invited. I hadn't even been contacted. They'd thrown me a whole birthday party without me. I don't know how long I sat in that car. Long enough that the ice cream I'd bought for myself, because I thought we were doing a small dinner later, melted through the paper bag and made a sticky puddle on the floorboard. At 4:23 p.m., my dad finally texted me. "Dad, we weren't sure if you were free today." Free? On my own birthday? I didn't reply. I didn't cry. Something colder took over, the kind of cold that settles in your chest when you realize people aren't just clueless. They're choosing not to see you. I drove home, walked straight to my room, grabbed one thing, and shut the door softly behind me. Because if they wanted someone available for photos, they were about to see what I had been really doing at the exact moment they sang "Happy Birthday" to the wrong person. And I promise you, the truth was going to hit a hell of a lot harder than any cake. I guess none of what happened on my 25th birthday should have shocked me as much as it did. My family has always had this unspoken hierarchy, and somehow Lily floated right to the top without ever doing anything to earn it. She was the pretty cousin, the photogenic one, the one adults fawned over because she smiled at the right moments and never made things awkward. Meanwhile, I was the kid who asked too many questions, the one who didn't like being touched in photos, the one who didn't pretend to be happy when I wasn't. Growing up in Tacoma, it was always the same at every holiday. Someone would hand Lily a present just because, and I'd get a "you've grown so much" pat on the head. If there was a group photo, Lily was in the middle. If there was attention to be given, it leaked toward her like gravity. It wasn't that she was mean, she wasn't, at least back then. She just learned early that if she acted the part, everyone would treat her like she was special. My mom especially played into it. She'd say things like, "Look how beautiful Lily looks in that dress," or "Maybe you should try smiling like Lily does." Once, when I was 13, she even told me, "You could look like her if you tried." I remember going to the bathroom afterward and staring at my face in the mirror, wondering which parts weren't good enough. By high school, I'd stopped trying. I made my own friends, worked at a little grocery store near the water, and kept my distance from family gatherings. They always left me feeling like a background extra in a movie about someone else's life. But after college, things shifted a bit. Grandma got sick and I moved back home to help. I thought maybe helping would change something, maybe I'd be seen differently. And in some ways, it did. Grandma and I got close. She'd tell me stories from when I was a baby, stuff my parents barely remembered. She'd say, "You've always had a good heart, Olivia. People just don't know how to look at you properly." But even then, Lily swooped in whenever there was attention to be gathered. If Grandma complimented something I cooked, Lily would post a recipe she invented the next day. When Grandma gave me her old jewelry box for when you turned 25, Lily asked to borrow half the pieces for a photo shoot. Grandma said no, of course, but Lily still pouted like a toddler denied candy. So when I turned 25, this milestone birthday Grandma talked about for years, I honestly thought my family would do something small but real. A dinner, a cake, something that showed they remembered I existed. But 2 months before my birthday, Grandma passed, and my family got even stranger after that. Everyone was tense, everyone was emotional, and I kept telling myself the distance was grief, not rejection. Looking back, though, the signs were there. On New Year's, Mom said, "We might do something low-key for your birthday this year. Everyone's tired." In February, Aunt Jen texted me asking what I wanted, but she never followed up. A week before my birthday, Lily posted on Instagram, "Can't wait for a big March surprise." I should have known. I should have realized what surprise she meant, but I didn't. I walked right into my birthday believing, for once, that I mattered enough for them to show up. And then I watched them celebrate me, without me, and hand everything I loved to the person they'd always wished I was. And that's when the anger started to settle into something sharper, something that made me rethink every moment leading up to that day. Because people don't throw a whole birthday party for someone who wasn't available. People do that when they never planned to include you from the start. The night of my birthday, after the shock wore off enough for me to breathe without shaking, I started putting pieces together. Not just emotional pieces, literal, practical ones. Because something about the whole situation felt coordinated. Too clean, too prepared. The cake, the decorations, the timing, the gifts being opened on camera like it was a brand deal, none of that was last minute. None of that was, "We weren't sure if you were free." That was planning. That was intention. And the more I thought about it, the more things from the past month started clicking into place in a way that made my stomach twist. 2 weeks before my birthday, Mom told me not to worry about coming over that weekend because they were reorganizing the living room. Aunt Jen casually mentioned winning a great deal on party supplies, but refused to tell me what for. Even my dad had been weirdly quiet, leaving the house early and coming home late. But the real red flag was Lily. She had posted a TikTok 3 days earlier with a caption that suddenly made sense. "March is going to be iconic, watch this space." In the video, she was wearing a gold dress, the same one she wore in the photos from my birthday party, and in the background of that TikTok, I hadn't noticed it then. But now, after zooming in, I saw it clearly, a stack of wrapped gifts. The same wrapping paper from the photos, meaning they'd taken those photos days before my actual birthday. This wasn't an impulsive decision. This wasn't a misunderstanding. This was something planned, rehearsed, curated, and that realization burned. I felt stupid for expecting anything else. Stupid for thinking that just because Grandma was gone, they might finally look at me instead of through me. But I also felt something else, something heavier and colder. If they wanted to replace me in photos, fine. If they wanted to hand over gifts I was supposed to get, fine. But throwing a party, tagging her in the post, and acting like I was the one who failed to show up, that crossed into a level of disrespect I didn't even know they were capable of. The next morning, I woke up to a flood of comments on the Facebook post. "Happy birthday, Lily. You look gorgeous. 25 looks amazing on you. Where's Olivia? Lol." And then Mom replied to one. "She wasn't available today, but we'll celebrate later." That sentence might as well have been gasoline on a fire. I checked my phone. No missed calls. No texts asking if I wanted to come over. Nothing. Around noon, Dad finally sent another message. "We figured you had plans. We didn't want to bother you." Plans. The only plan I had made was buying myself ice cream and trying not to think about Grandma. By that afternoon, something inside me snapped into place, not angry, not hurt, just clear. Clear in a way I had never been before. Because if they wanted me invisible, I'd show them exactly what they'd failed to see. And I knew exactly where to start. I opened my laptop, took a deep breath, and pulled up the photos I'd taken the night before, the ones they didn't know existed yet. Not photos of me celebrating, but photos of where I actually was, and who I was with, and what I was doing at the exact moment they were handing Lily my life on a silver platter. And once they saw that, nothing, and I mean nothing, would ever be the same in my family again. I didn't plan to confront anyone. Not yet. I wanted to see how far they'd take the lie before I pulled the pin. So the morning after my birthday, I did something simple. I texted Mom. Can we talk today? Mom, busy, maybe tomorrow. Busy. The day after the entire family gathered for a party they pretended wasn't for me. A party they knew I hadn't been invited to. I waited an hour, then I did something I knew would force her hand. I posted a single Instagram story. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't even angry. Just a picture of my car parked outside a building, the one place my family had absolutely no idea I'd been going for weeks. The caption said, "Yesterday was important." Within 5 minutes, Mom was calling, then texting. Then calling again. I didn't answer. Instead, I drove to Grandma's house, the one we were all supposed to be clearing out, but somehow I had been the only one actually doing it. The one place I felt closer to her than anywhere else. I unlocked the door, walked inside, and found something waiting on the dining table. A folder. A folder I had never seen before. My name was written on it in Grandma's handwriting. My whole chest tightened. I sat down slowly, opened it, and felt the blood drain from my face. Inside were printed emails, dozens of them, between my mom, my aunt, and Lily. The subject line on almost all of them. Birthday arrangements. But the body of the messages, that was the real blow. Let's just have Lily stand in for Olivia this year. She photographs better. Olivia always looks uncomfortable in pictures. Lily will make the celebration look polished. Don't tell Olivia about the party. She makes everything awkward. We'll give the gifts to Lily to keep things consistent. She can post them. We can celebrate with Olivia privately another time, like I was some side quest, a cleanup duty, an afterthought they could deal with when they were done showcasing Lily. But the worst part, the part that actually made my hands start trembling, was an email from Mom to my aunt sent 3 weeks before my birthday. Grandma's things should go to Lily. She'll put them to better use. Olivia won't appreciate them. Grandma's things, the jewelry, the handwritten letters, the ring she promised me, everything. They were planning to give it all to Lily behind my back. I felt sick. The air in the house felt colder, heavier, like grief layered on top of betrayal. My grandmother had trusted them with her final wishes, and they had planned to hand them to the cousin who cared more about Instagram filters than family. I don't know how long I sat there, maybe 10 minutes, maybe an hour, but then another thought hit me, something that made the betrayal even sharper. Someone had put the folder there for me, someone wanted me to find it. And considering Grandma had passed months before, that meant she must have prepared it ahead of time, on purpose, because she already knew. She knew what my family was capable of. She knew they would try to cut me out. And she must have decided that if they did, I needed to have proof. Proof of who they truly were. And suddenly, everything about the last year made sense. The way Grandma insisted I handle her paperwork, the way she kept checking if I had copies of certain documents, the way she would say, "Don't let them pretend you don't matter, Olivia." She must have seen this coming. But Grandma didn't just give me evidence. She gave me leverage. Because tucked at the bottom of the folder was something I never expected to see, something that shifted the entire power dynamic of my family in a single second. A document with my name on it, and one sentence that made my breath stop completely. I leave the house and all remaining personal property to my granddaughter, Olivia Turner. Everything. Grandma had left everything to me, not Lily. Not my mom, not anyone else. Me. And suddenly the way they'd treated me, the exclusion, the fake party, the attempt to hand over my inheritance, it all took on a much darker meaning. They already knew, and now I knew too. I sat in Grandma's dining room for a long time just staring at that will. My name printed cleanly across the top, my grandmother's signature at the bottom. No ambiguity, no loopholes, no shared among the grandchildren, just me. And that clarity hit hard, not just because she trusted me, but because my family must have found out somehow. And once they did, they didn't just ignore me. They didn't just minimize me. They tried to erase me. A fake birthday party, gifts redirected, photos staged, conversations about how I wouldn't appreciate her things. Everything suddenly looked like a coordinated effort to warm Lily up as the natural heir. Like they were preparing the world, or at least their social circle, to see her as the rightful owner of everything Grandma left behind. They weren't being thoughtless. They were covering their tracks, and when I realized that, the fear just evaporated. Not instantly, but slowly, like steam fading off pavement after rain. What took its place was something sharper, steadier, almost surgical. They wanted polished pictures. They wanted their version of events. I could give them something they'd never forget. I gathered everything in the folder, the emails, the printouts, the will, and I put them in a new binder I found in Grandma's desk drawer. I labeled it with one word, truth. It felt dramatic, yeah, but for once I didn't care. Drama was exactly what they had weaponized for years. I was just picking up the same tool. Then I opened my laptop. Step 1, screenshots, dozens of them. Every photo, every comment, every tag from the fake birthday party. I saved them all, sorted them by time, and dropped them into a neatly labeled digital folder. Fake birthday/evidence. Step 2, my photos, the ones they didn't know existed. Because while they were busy posing Lily in front of my birthday banner, I wasn't at home eating ice cream and sulking. I was somewhere far more unexpected and far more dangerous to them. I had been at my lawyer's office. Signing documents. Documents transferring utilities to my name. Documents establishing my legal ownership of Grandma's house. Documents authorizing me to secure the property, change the locks, and, if necessary, evict anyone attempting to claim items that did not belong to them. The photo I'd posted in my story, the building, that had been the first breadcrumb. I had a whole trail ready. Step 3, the thank you card. This was the part I savored. Because nothing says polite family communication like a handwritten note. I picked a simple card with blue flowers, something innocent, something harmless, and sat down at Grandma's old writing desk. Inside, I wrote, "Thank you so much for celebrating my birthday. I wanted you all to know how truly grateful I am, so here's a picture of where I really was." Then, I printed a 4x6 glossy of me in the lawyer's office, sitting across from a stack of documents with my name on them, signing the final page of the will transfer. In the photo, I'm looking straight at the camera with this calm, steady expression that says everything without saying a word. Then, underneath the photo, I wrote, "Don't worry, I was available." I sealed the envelope, addressed it to my parents, my aunt, and yes, Lily. Then I placed all 3 in my mailbox and flipped the flag up. Step 4, lock the house. Literally. I changed the locks on Grandma's place that same evening. I set up cameras. I boxed certain things according to the will's itemized list. I put digital copies of the binder in cloud storage. If they tried anything, I'd know. If they showed up, I'd see. If they wanted to take something, they'd run straight into the legal wall Grandma built around me. And step 5, I waited. Because the thank you cards were going to land in their mailboxes by Thursday. And when they opened them, when they saw where I really was while they were celebrating my absence, the panic would hit them like a freight train. And that was only the beginning. The thank you cards landed faster than I expected. Wednesday evening, my phone started buzzing nonstop. At first, I ignored it. I wanted them to sit in whatever panic those glossy little photos triggered. But around 7 p.m., my cousin Mark, the one family member who never got sucked into Lily's spotlight, sent a text that made my stomach sink. "Mark, hey, you should check your aunt's Facebook. Something going down." I opened the app, half expecting a meltdown post or some dramatic rant about miscommunication. What I found was worse. It was a picture of Lily crying on the couch, mascara streaked down her face like she'd practiced it. The caption read, Please pray for our family. Someone we trusted is trying to take everything from us. My niece Lily is devastated. The comments were full of sympathy. Oh no, what happened? Sending love. Protect Lily at all costs. She deserves everything she's worked for. My blood boiled, but then I scrolled further. There were more posts, vague ones but pointed. Entitlement is an ugly disease. Some people don't appreciate family. We will fight this. My mom even posted a meme about ungrateful children. It was coordinated. Again, except this time something was off. Something felt rehearsed. Then I saw it. A message request from a name I didn't recognize, Cara Livingston. Cara was Lily's best friend, the one who usually filmed all her little influencer-style videos. We'd barely spoken in our lives. Her message said, I shouldn't be saying this, but you need to know Lily started planning your birthday party in January. She told us she was going to make it her debut content day. Your mom agreed. They said you wouldn't mind if she used the day since you're not into photos. They've been talking about her inheriting the house for months. My heart dropped. Months, not weeks, not days. This wasn't about grandmas will accidentally becoming known. They had known long before she passed. Meaning someone told them. Meaning someone betrayed grandma. Meaning someone tried to get ahead of the will by turning Lily into the obvious heir, the beloved, photogenic, socially adored face of the family. Meaning everything, the party, the gifts, the decorations, was part of a bigger plan to rewrite the story before the will even surfaced. I almost closed the message and chalked it up to drama, but Cara kept typing. There's something else you don't know, something Lily showed us because she thought it was funny. My breath hitched. There's video. Video, I typed back. What video? She sent it immediately. A link to a private TikTok Lily had filmed but never posted. I opened it, expecting another brag or some tone-deaf caption. But the moment the video started, I froze. It was recorded in Grandma's house, months before she died. Lily was digging through her dresser drawers, holding up jewelry to the camera, trying them on, posing, laughing. My mom was filming for her, saying, "It'll all be yours soon. Might as well get used to it." Then Lily said something that punched the air out of my lungs. Olivia won't even notice. She never pays attention. She's basically a placeholder kid. And then my mom, my own mother, replied. She's always been a placeholder. This house should go to someone who knows how to show it off. I set my phone down. I couldn't move. I couldn't speak. I couldn't think. This wasn't just about disrespect. This wasn't just about favoritism. This was intentional, calculated, cruel. They didn't just celebrate my birthday without me. They were preparing to rewrite my grandmother's legacy, literally using me as a placeholder, a stand-in, a shadow. And then Cara sent one last message. You didn't hear this from me, but they're going to the house tomorrow. They think they can fix everything before lawyers get involved. Fix. The word tasted poisonous. My family wasn't panicking because of the will. They were panicking because I found the proof they thought they'd buried. And by tomorrow, they'd be standing on property that wasn't theirs, trying to claim what they had already stolen emotionally, trying to finish the job. Not a chance. I didn't sleep that night. Not because I was scared. I had already crossed that line days ago, but because something darker had settled in. A kind of clarity I didn't know I was capable of. I sat at Grandma's old kitchen table with the binder in front of me, the will open beside it, and the sound of my family's voices echoing in my mind from that video. Placeholder kid. This house should go to someone who knows how to show it off. Not a slip, not frustration, not grief. It was a belief. And I needed to understand where it came from, why the people who raised me had such an easy time pretending I barely existed. The answer came at 5:14 a.m. My dad called. I almost didn't pick up, but something told me to hear him out. When I answered, his voice wasn't angry. It wasn't apologetic. It was flat, almost emotionless. Olivia, don't go to the house today, please. There was no, we're sorry. No, we made a mistake. Just the bare minimum to try to control the outcome. I asked him the question I had been swallowing for years. Why do you all hate me so much? There was silence, not the thoughtful kind, the calculating kind. Then he exhaled, tired and cold. We don't hate you, you just don't bring anything to the family. The words hit so hard I had to grip the edge of the table. What does that even mean? I asked. He didn't hesitate. You're not useful, you're not social, you're not someone people gather around. Lily is, she makes the family look good, she helps us fit in, you don't. Useful, look good, fit in. Like I was an accessory they didn't like wearing. Like my entire existence was a bad photo angle. He kept going, and every word carved a wound deeper than the last. Your mother didn't want you to inherit the house because you'd keep it quiet and private. You'd let it sit. But Lily would put it online. She'd make it visible. She'd make it admired. She can elevate our family name. You can't. I remember staring at the wall, barely breathing. They didn't want the house because it meant something to them. They wanted it because they could use it. As a backdrop, as clout, as content. Grandma's home, the place she cooked in, laughed in, lived in, wasn't a memory to them. It was a brand opportunity. And then he said the part that finally broke something old in me and built something new. Your mom said it best. You're not the kind of daughter people brag about. I didn't cry. I didn't yell. I didn't explain. Something inside me went completely still, like a final switch being flipped after years of damage. Thanks for being honest, I said. I heard him inhale sharply, like he could suddenly sense he'd said too much, but I didn't give him time to walk it back. I hung up. And in that moment, every blurry suspicion sharpened into one horrifying truth. My family didn't replace me because they forgot me. They replaced me because they never valued me enough to keep me in the first place. To them, Lily wasn't just the favorite, she was the product. The showpiece. The one who elevated the family name with her smile and her filters and her staged perfect life. I wasn't defective. I was inconvenient. And they had spent years subtly conditioning me to accept scraps so they could hand everything of value, emotional or material, to the person who made them look good. Grandma must have known. That's why she left everything to me. She was the only one who saw what they were doing long before I did. And suddenly, revenge didn't feel petty. It felt necessary. Because tomorrow morning, when they showed up at the house expecting to fix things, they weren't going to find a weak placeholder kid. They were going to find the rightful owner, with every piece of proof they thought they had hidden. And the coldness they used against me, I was finally ready to use it back. They showed up at Grandma's house at 9:12 am. I saw them on the security feed. Mom, Aunt Jen, and Lily marching up the walkway like they owned the place, carrying empty tote bags, the kind people bring when they plan on collecting things. My dad lagged behind them, shoulders hunched, eyes darting like he already regretted being there. I didn't step outside, not yet. I waited until Mom tried her old key, found the lock changed, and started banging on the door like a landlord confronting a squatter. Then I opened it. Slowly. No anger, no tears, just calm. Morning, I said, Mom's face twisted. Olivia, this is childish, let us in. I held up the binder, the one labeled Truth. We need to talk before anyone enters this house. Aunt Jen rolled her eyes. You're being dramatic. Am I asked, and I handed her the first printed email from the folder. The one where she wrote, Don't tell Olivia about the celebration. She ruins photos. Her face drained so fast it was almost funny. Then I turned to Mom. I pulled out the email she'd sent asking if Lily could inherit the house quietly to avoid conflict. I watched her pupils shrink, her mouth open, close, then open again. But I saved the best for last. I pulled up the TikTok video on my phone, the one Kara had sent me, and held it up so all three of them could see. Lily's face went white. Mom's eyes widened. Aunt Jen gasped. In the video, Lily strutted around Grandma's bedroom wearing her jewelry, laughing, while Mom filmed and said, It'll all be yours soon. Then Lily's voice. Olivia's just a placeholder kid. I paused the video on that exact sentence and said, You said this while Grandma was alive. Dad finally spoke quietly. Olivia, let's go inside and talk. No, I said. I'm done talking in rooms where you pretend to care. I took a slow breath, looked each of them in the eyes, and delivered the final blow. I know about the will. Lily flinched like I'd thrown something. Mom tried to recover. We were going to explain. No, you weren't, I cut in. You were going to come here today, take what you wanted, and hope I'd be too scared or confused to challenge you. Then, I stepped aside just enough for them to see the new locks. The camera pointed directly at the doorway, the neatly labeled boxes showing inventory of every item inside. This property belongs to me, I said. Legally, fully, permanently. Aunt Jen's voice cracked. We didn't know. You knew months ago, I said. You just didn't care. Lily started crying, the same practiced shaky cry she used online, except this time it didn't land. Not even a little. She whispered, Olivia, please, this is all a misunderstanding. So I leaned in, close enough that she stopped breathing for a second. You stole my birthday, I said quietly. You tried to steal my inheritance. You let them reduce me to a placeholder so you could play princess. And you thought I'd let you keep doing it. Her tears stopped instantly, because she finally realized this wasn't shy, forgettable Olivia. This was the granddaughter Grandma chose. I straightened up, pulled a stack of envelopes from my pocket, and handed one to each of them. Then I stepped back inside and said the final line they'll never forget. And don't worry, I'll make sure the story gets told accurately this time. Then I shut the door, locked it, and walked through Grandma's living room, my living room now, feeling something settle inside me that I'd never felt before. Not victory, not triumph, just peace. Because for the first time in my life, I wasn't the placeholder kid. I was the one who finished the story.